Dr. Deepamala, Dr. Sahani sir, Girish Gupta sir, all are in the platform. But I think that this is nowadays people are not coming to this stage and they are all going to the YouTube. That is not good. Because otherwise, if there are no people in the IFPH meeting, it will not be a good thing. So you have to attend. All of them, those who can do, please attend the session also. After that, you can refer it in the YouTube. That is good. I think that more people should come to the platform. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all from the different parts of the world. Today is our 1023rd day of our IFPH meeting, continuous meeting. Before starting, today's our guest is Dr. RAJESHWARI RAPTA, MD, Homeopathy. So let us have a 1 minute silent prayer for her to give much wisdom from God and to all of us. Just for a minute, let us have a silent prayer. I told you that today's guest is Dr. RAJESHWARI RAPTA, MD, Homeopathy. Former principal, hospital administrator, ex-professor, HOD, anatomy by MUHS Nasik. Her expertise includes homeopathic consultation, academics management, counseling, hospital administration, teaching, training, and internal auditing of hospitals. She is the founder of Art of Healing Gurukul. Through her project Ghar Ghar Homeopathy, she is a mission to skill India on awareness of medical emergency conditions, CPR, first aid, and role of homeopathy. Scientific and medical writing was a part of her work, but she had started feeding her flair for contemporary writing recently and contributed articles and poems to various anthologies of IFPH Last Publishing House. She was awarded the ILPH Adventurous Writer Award 2020, the Best Teacher Award 2020, and the Bharat Shiksha Gaurav Award 2021. She is an avid traveler, podcaster, YouTuber, loves singing and cooking. Good. Her first ever podcast on human anatomy in India, available on Apple Podcast. Today's her topic is homeopathy research, past, present, and future. You know that it is an important thing because we have to, such people are coming to our field. They can guide us, all of them, that how to do the research and all the things. Doctor, now the 45 minutes will be your class, and after that, there will be a discussion part. So you are welcome, most welcome to our platform. You can start now, madam. Yeah, you unmute, doctor. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Once again, I'm grateful for the IFPH and Dr. Sahani sir, and also all the members of this IFPH platform for giving me this opportunity to present here. Let me share my presentation. The research in homeopathy, past, present, and future is my topic here. And before going to the main presentation, there is a disclaimer. Criticism should be taken constructively. We all homeopaths have great love for homeopathy, isn't it? Myself included. And I feel that sometimes love is blind. Not sometimes, but real love is always blind. And so is our love for homeopathy. And we all know that the consequences of blind love, isn't it? So here is my next slide. Agenda for our topic today. Introduction and 5 W's, 1 H, why, what, where, who, when, and how. These are the main things before considering any research. And the facts. research in the past, research in the present, research in the future. Some conspiracy theories, challenges, and solutions. So let us start with why, because research always starts with why. Each question has a factual answer, and facts are very necessary to include for a report to be considered complete. Any report, any research report, facts are very important. So why did it happen? That is very important. Why is the research being conducted? Why is it delayed? Why are the results not in sync with the research question? Why are the peer reviewers not satisfied with the research outcomes? Why is it that we are not able to prove homeopathy is just more than placebo, but it is not a placebo? Why are the funds not used in research and development extensively? So isn't it important that the why should be asked before any research conducted? So organization is very important. When a perfectly organized research paper or research conducted should have why more prominently. So why do you do? What do you do? What's the purpose? How do you do? What you do? So these all questions are, it is called as the golden circle, where the why is the core of the whole thing. So this why it was presented, actually, it was given by Simon Sinek. He was a entrepreneur and a coach of entrepreneur coach. Now coming for what are you doing? Who is it about? What kind of research we are doing? Whether it is a basic research, a primary research, or evidence-based research, or random control trials. What is another important question which should be asked? Like, what should be the research plan? What happened in the research? What will happen if the conditions, different conditions? What are the equipments and tools required, raw materials required? What can be the consequences, results, outcome? What are the lacunae? What can be done in the future for betterment? What is the mass media talking about homeopathy? So are we all asking these questions before conducting any research, or just it is for the sake of presenting a research paper we presented? This is very important. I've also seen people presenting the same paper over and over again in the different conferences. Whether what outcome they get out of it is another big question. When did it take place? When is another question. So when did this research take place? Before, prior, or when will it start and when will it complete? When will it be present? The time cycle is also very important. Period, the duration of that research, how long it will be taking place, that is also very important. Where did it take place? Will it take place? Or will it be presented? Or where we are lacking really in research? Where are the funds? That is also important question. Or where is the government directory of research? Is there a government directory for research? Are there government archives? So many people are presenting research in India as well as globally. So where are these research archives? Where will we find it? Where is a proper government directory or an authoritative directory of archives? Are all these research articles, is it peer reviewed and by whom? Is that sufficient to prove homeopathy? So all this is included in where? Now how? How is a very important question again. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And what you do, it simply proves what you believe. So we are doing it because we believe in homeopathy. But why are we doing it? How are we doing it is very important. So how are the funds being used? How was the research quality? How was the research reviewed? And how are we dealing with the authorities and our colleagues? How are our research ethics? So this is very important again. So what, how, and why, when we come to these questions, whatever functional requirements are there, that is called as what? All the functional requirements. And those non-functional requirements is how. Now, we should not confuse between what and how, because both what and how are not why. Why is the core question. I don't know how much you understand about this concept, but this is the very important concept before doing any research. Now this one, spaghetti code. When we talk about spaghetti code is something which is unorganized, unstructured, and something is going on, but the person who is listening to us or observing us is not at all understanding anything. That is what is happening with homeopathy. You know, our homeopathic medicines work excellently. We have billions of cures with us. We have excellent research articles. Our cure rate is also very good. You know, people are, our homeopathy is, we can say masses, amongst masses, it is popular. You know, it's the second and the largest medical therapy which is used in world. But why are our counterparts not able to understand how homeopathy works? Why are we not able to prove how homeopathy works? So this is also called as spaghetti code, which is usually, it's a term used by computer programmers. So it is something which is unorganized and unstructured, and it's not able, they're not able to organize it and unstructure it and make it into proper points. So that is what happening with homeopathy. We need to be more organized, more structured, and is to explain to people in an easily conceptible manner, so that conceivable manner, so that the people can understand it, and we'll have to prove it in research through their lens, because we are looking it through our lens and we can see it clearly, but other people are not able to see that clearly. So we have to use their lens to make them look at it in a proper way. Now, how to make that is a very difficult task, but not, not, you can't say that it can't be done. It can be done. So this is what is happening with the people, like the demon or the looking here, he is not able to understand what it is and is saying, why, oh, why you are doing this to me? Now coming to the past. So how homeopathy evolved? Do you know homeopathy is the oldest science? Even before the World War started, even before the allopathy word was coined, homeopathy had started. So this is a place, past is a place to learn from, not to live in. So there is a big question in front of us. Are we living in the past? That we have to understand. So how homeopathic medical science and conventional medicine, that is comparison in evolution, how it evolved, how homeopathy grew. Okay. We all know homeopathy was founded by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, who grew up in Meissen in Germany and received his medical degree in Langton and founded homeopathy in 1796, around end of 18th century, in the 17th century, homeopathy was founded. World War, when did it start? 28th July 1914 and ended in 11th November 1918. No, that was a period of World War I. And at the same time, in 1st September, from 1st September 1939 to 2nd September 1945, World War II was there. So what is the relation between homeopathy and World War, you may ask me. So the most important thing is that Operation Research was carried out during the World War II. And clinical trials and reorganization of medical research after the World War started. So that's where, that's where the question arises. What happened in the big gap? Big gap means when homeopathy was founded in 1796. After that, World War started. So from 1796 to 1914, what happened during this period? How much homeopathy grew? So we all knew it grew, and so many remedies were discovered. So much research happened. So many provings were done. Now, this was eye-catching amongst the world. Many of the disciples of Dr. Hahnemann were allopathic doctors who turned to homeopathy. We all know that, you know. But what happened after this? When World War II ended, or during the World War II ending of World War, this operation research was carried out and clinical trials, so many clinical trials happened. Okay. And reorganization of medical research happened. When we compare this, we also have to compare that Dr. Hahnemann had written the organon of medicine. Okay, organon, the topic organon of medicine. How did this title come into his mind? From the book Novum Organon, written by Francis Bacon. That's where the inductive logic, which was placed in organ of medicine, that came into existence. The mode of writing the research, that is the aphorisms mode, that was presented by Lord Bacon, and the same concept was followed by many research scientists during his time. So William Harvey was one of the scientists. All these people, they conducted research depending on this inductive logic only. Now, this Nuremberg Code, what is it? You know about the Holocaust, which happened during the World War II, and that's when lots of massacre happened. Lot of experimentation, observation, which was done, and because of that, they conducted one. They made one Nuremberg Code where voluntary informed consent, fruitful result for the good of society, all that. This kind of this resembles the ethics. On the basis of this Nuremberg Code only, today's whatever the consent forms are handed over in the hospitals before conducting any surgery or major treatments. All this is based on this Nuremberg Code only. Okay. So banning of non-lethal or disabled procedures, degrees of risks should be not exceed the benefits, proper preparation and facilities to prevent injury or death. All these points were mentioned in the Nuremberg Code, and depending on this, the different consent forms which are being handed over in the hospitals, all these are based on this. Now, coming to Francis Bacon and Novum Organon. This is the aphorism first in Francis Bacon's Novum Organon. What is Novum Organon? Novum is new and organum means tools. Okay, new tool. So it's a new tool for research. That is what was presented by Francis Bacon. And based on this, Dr. Hahnemann wrote his Organon of Medicine. That was a research book on homeopathy, how homeopathy was discovered, and different principles based on all this is a research presentation during his time. Till this day, we are following the same thing. So do you all agree with me that there is a need to, change the written formula, whatever writings, in the present mode of research, which includes both inductive and deductive logic. So there is need to change, need for revolution in homeopathy. There is a need for reorganization also. That is what I feel. So here, Bacon's scientific methodology can be summarized like scientists must start with a set of unprejudiced observations. And these observations lead to correct the generalizations or axioms, and the test of a correct axiom will lead to new discoveries. That was the type of scientific methodology which was followed by Francis Bacon, and a similar one was being done by Dr. Hahnemann also. He also mentioned unprejudiced, homeopathic physician should be an unprejudiced observer. That is what was being taken from Bacon's. If you all want to have the Francis Bacon's Novum Organon PDF, I can send it to you on the group. And what he mentioned in the aphorism first, man being servant and interpreter of nature can do and understand so much and so much only as he has observed in the fact and thought about the order of nature, and beyond this he neither knows anything nor can do anything. That is what he mentioned there. But nowadays we are challenging nature, isn't it? We are so much research is being done, and so much of chemicals and constituents are being derived, extracted from the nature and plants and different things, and then medicines are being produced. So that's about Francis Bacon and Novum Organon. Now, this is Dr. Hahnemann, as all of you know, is the founder of homeopathy. So that's what all happened in the past. So many researchers during the after the World War II, you can say so many researchers was done, and so many inventions were done, like blood transfusion, skin grafts, trauma treatment, antibacterial treatment, penicillin was discovered. All these discoveries were done. Now, present day, you can see that when we compare, there is a lot of comparison between modern medicine, conventional medicine, or allopathy, whatever you say, and homeopathy, and we're not able to come into that league. So that's what we are supposed to do in the present now. So the point of power is always in the present moment, that we have to recognize and use the present very cognitively and intelligently. So what to do in the present? Do we need to understand the SWOT analysis? What is the SWOT analysis? SWOT stands for S for strengths, W for weaknesses, O for opportunities, and T for threats. So what is the strength of homeopathy? Homeopathy is an emerging science as a nanomedicine. It can be a genetic medicine, it can be Darwinian medicine, individualistic science. These are the strengths of homeopathy. Weaknesses. Now, it's also very important to weaknesses. We can't hide our weaknesses. To improve, to progress, one should identify the weaknesses as well. So organizing as a united scientific team, collaborating for research is also very important. Collaboration is also important. Funds for research, an individual or collaborative homeopathic scientific body like Cochrane Committee. Do you all know about Cochrane Committee? This is a committee which was established by different nations and scientific bodies, and they come together and establish a committee where all the scientific papers and everything goes to them, and they review it, and it is considered very valid information. People go there to find out the validity. So more government archives of scientific research articles and papers with peer reviews is important for homeopathy, and more innovative scientific tools to prove homeopathy as science. Now, when we consider both inductive and deductive logic in any scientific research, that's where tools are very important. Whenever any allopathic research paper or article you'll find numerous tools, statistic tools are there, which they take into consider and to confirm the research topic. What are the tools we use, homeopathy uses, to confirm homeopathy as a science? We use their tools. But those tools, are they enough to prove homeopathy as a science? This is a very big question. Somewhere that is insufficient. Okay, these scientific tools didn't take birth on itself. They were also innovated by some people. So in the similar way, for homeopathy to prove it as a science, we need to innovate some scientific tools to prove homeopathy as a science. That is very important, because homeopathy itself is an individualistic science. There are some, you can say, lacunae, which you can't prove it. That forms as a backlog. We can't do that. That's why it is very important that some innovative scientific tools should be, made to make homeopathy as a science. Now, coming for opportunities, increasing revenue. We know that homeopathy has an increasing revenue. Every year and year, so many homeopathic medicines are being sold, so many patents are being done, and then collaboration with other homeopathic pharmacies or other pharma companies can be done in future. Increasing popularity amongst masses is again a very big positive point for us. So big revenue, that is the main why, the why. Why for homeopathy to succeed is the increasing revenue that we all should accept. So this is a very big opportunity for homeopathy to become a big science and become more popularity amongst masses. The cure rate is very high, and people are very happy with the treatments. So this is a big opportunity. Now, whenever there are opportunities, there will be threats also. So chances of duplication, replication of the homeopathy into new names like Darwinian medicine or nanomedicine, etc. There can be a threat, banning of homeopathy. So this is also a threat. So we have to identify all this and make homeopathy a scientific medicine, prove homeopathy as it is already scientific. It is already a science, but we need to prove it to the people through their lens. That is very important. Now, coming to acquiring knowledge, whenever it's science, we say science, it is basically it is a knowledge which is being presented and proved. So how this knowledge is acquired? It is acquired through knowledge through instinct, that is intuition, knowledge through an expert, knowledge through reasoning, and empiricism. That is that is knowledge through experience. So it can be empirical medicines, people using the tribal people or the ancient people using certain medicines, and how that can be converted into scientific medicine. All these things are the derivatives to acquired knowledge. That is very important to understand how the knowledge is being acquired for research. Now, anti-science. What is anti-science? Authoritarianism is characterized highly concentrated and centralized government power maintained by political repression and exclusion of potential or supposed challengers by armed forces. But whatever the authorities, they make the people do it. So that is authoritative power, okay, and get their whatever goals to be achieved. So they try to mobilize people to acquire their goals. That is anti-science. It is called as anti-science. So you can understand that by making fear as the derivative to achieve the goal, you can understand where this direction goes. Then pseudoscience. You know that how homeopathy is being defamed as pseudoscience. Even though it exists as a pure science, it cures so many diseases. Even incurable diseases also, there are many examples which it has cured. So mysticism is a religious ideology studied by academics rather extensively and is characterized by religious ecstasies. It is said religious ecstasies are alterations of conscious state of an individual where awareness of external environment is lessened while spiritual or internal awareness rises. Now, this is a very important thing Spiritual and internal awareness, when it arises, then only things happen, then only the holistic medicine or holistic treatment happens. Why is it called as pseudoscience? Simply because we are not able to explain people the way they want to know it. So that is where we have to understand how do people make it know in their way through their lens. This is the deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning. So nowadays in research, we find that both things are done through the research, and then it is confirmed. Hahnemann had adopted the observational pattern. After observation, seeing the pattern, conducting a tentative hypothesis, then theory, and then making the principles and make it work. Later, the deductive reasoning came, and once the theory is first conceived and then hypothesis is made, then on the basis of observations, then taking the different tools and statistics, then it is confirmed. And nowadays, both the things are being taken into the research and things are being done. So medical research, it is primary and secondary. Basic research, theoretical, applied. Now, when we come to homeopathy, we know that somewhere, all the things are not being done for a certain thing. It's like a mixture. Everybody is confused what they're doing. That happens sometimes. And sometimes the basic intention of doing a research is something else. Either to get their papers published, or there are certain personal aims. So there is no certain organization. That is what I have observed. So basic research, theoretical, applied, method development, analytical measurements, test development, assessment, biometric procedures, imaging procedures, all these things comes under theoretical. Then applied, it comes onto the animal study, genetic engineering, cell study, biochemistry, genetic studies, material development. How far homeopathy is being pushed into all these things? Is it necessary or not necessary? Why it should be necessary? So these questions should be asked. Clinical trials, experimental clinical studies are being conducted in homeopathy, and there are so many clinical studies positively, the treatments which are, we can say, evidence-based medicines, which are very good articles are there, and research papers are there. Observational therapeutic studies, prognostic studies, diagnostic studies, drug studies. Now, these all are the technical jargons which we have to use in homeopathy, and we have to conduct research under all these categories to prove to them that we are doing it in this way, and these are the things which are being done. And homeopathy is how much media propagation is being done about our research articles. How many of us share on our social media or whatever our colleagues, with our colleagues, that what research we are doing? How many of you discuss our research papers with others? This should be also a prime motto. Then experimental, interventional studies, field studies, and group studies. This should also happen. This is epidemiological trials. This is where we have badly failed during the COVID-19, where it was a very good chance for us to conduct much and much research and present to the government and make it acceptable. So experimental, interventional study, field study, and group study. Observational cohort studies, prospective, historical, case control studies, cross-sectional studies, ecological monitoring, surveillance, and registry. All these come under the epidemiological trials. Then it comes the secondary, where review, systemic and narrative reviews, and meta-analysis. This is the prime part, and that has to also be done in homeopathic research. These are all, again, basic laboratory, clinical, and epidemiological research, medical research. Now coming to the Cochrane database, which forms mainly the meta-analysis, which is the filtered information They have large archives. You can go to the Cochrane database and find out how they do the systematic. How many of our homeopathic articles from India are there in Cochrane database? Or any global homeopathic research papers? What are the reviews they are conducting? All these articles should be reviewed by Indian doctors, homeopathic doctors also. That is what I strongly feel. Database of abstracts of reviews of effectiveness. Then Campbell Collaboration Library of Systematic Reviews. All this, how to be surveyed, a research should be done on this. And based on this, we have to formulate how our homeopathy will come up with this. So meta-analysis, systemic reviews, critically appraised topics, randomized control trials, all these come under the filtered information. Then cohort studies, case control studies, case reports, case series, and background information and expert opinions all are the unfiltered information. So these all things come usually from the different journals, textbooks, and access medicine and clinical keys. Do we have in homeopathy such kind of, unfiltered information which can be presented as cohort studies and case control studies and all this? So somewhere we have to probe into our minds whether we are following such things. Now coming to the future. Future depends on what we do in the present. So are we using the present accordingly? That is a big question. Homeopathy as nanomedicine. Now, recently, I heard since few years there was a research being conducted in IIT about homeopathy as a nanomedicine. How far has that research come? Was it only for few presentations to be done globally in some international research conventions? Or what is the outcome? Everybody wants to know that. How many of you probed that? How much that research has come further? That is very important. It is indeed a nanomedicine. Okay, water memory and all that. But how far, how extent it has come? Now, nanomedicine is also emerging in the convention as a conventional medicine where, they are introducing micro capsules that can go inside the body, also performing eye surgeries, clearing the blocked arteries, collecting biopsies. Minute capsules are being introduced, and then it goes through and certain evidences are being collected. Nanopatch vaccines are being discovered. Okay, smart bandages, all this come under the nanomedicine, the conventional medicine. But homeopathy has a great scope to develop as a nanomedicine. Future of nanomedicine has also great challenges, but it is very, very important in the field of medicine. So most of the people have agreed to the medical research in nanomedicine. When there was a survey conducted, public support, 88% public support was there for nanomedicine. Okay. There is another medicine which was mentioned as Darwinian medicine. If you will know or not, Darwinian medicine is a genetic medicine where you see in this picture where one lady is asking, "You're not frightened, are you?" When the man behind the sofa, he is frightened of that something watching on the TV. Certainly not, he says. I'm just responding to my evolutionary imperative. Now, what is this? This is individualization, which we do in homeopathy. We give the medicine to that person depending on his individualization, where he is frightened. He has that individualistic trait of getting, frightened by watching something, cruel animals or something. Now they have mentioned it as a Darwinian medicine. Now, is it not this concept similar to homeopathy, or can homeopathy be the Darwinian medicine? Or is this title being converted as Darwinian medicine, homeopathy being converted to Darwinian medicine? So this kind of technical jargon can take place in future. In future, Maybe homeopathy will be named as something else and being practiced or being. So there are chances. This can be the threats also. So we have to understand this. Francis Bacon's title page of Novum Organon. You can see this is a title page where you can see there are two pillars and there is a ship going through. So what does it, mention? It is like Francis Bacon said that this is a ship going from an old world to a new world in between these two Herculean pillars. Now, is homeopathy going from the old world to a new world? This question should be in everyone's mind who is doing research. Do we need to have new concepts, embracing new concepts or embracing the lens of the conventional medicine, see through it and make them look through it so that they can understand what homeopathy is. Revamping is very important. Revamping in homeopathy in an organized way. That is very important for homeopathy to thrive, to grow. So it's very important produce and share science and support the management process. The target should be institutions, scientists, the general public, also decision makers, and the end users, that is the patients who use our homeopathic medicines, where we treat the patients. And tools, what are the tools to revamp it? Scientific articles that are all being done. But how far are these scientific articles going? What is the intention for the making these scientific articles or scientific research papers? Are the documentaries being done on homeopathy? What type of courses are being doing on homeopathy? What is the quality and quantity of those courses? Policy briefs, conferences are already being conducted. What is the outcome of the conferences? Local press releases and applications, then social media, exhibitions, newsletters, workshops. These are the different tools. Apart from all this, in research, also innovative tools should be produced to, make homeopathy, to make people believe that the homeopathy as a research, a scientific medicine. So this tool should be made to confirm homeopathy. There are certain conspiracy theories like humanization or germ theories which makes rounds. Somewhere homeopaths also get involved in this. So it is very important where we have to stop this. And it said people who live in glass also shouldn't throw stones. So surely at present we are in the glass also. We have to accept this bitter truth and not get involved in such kind of theories and mainly focus on the research and how to make homeopathy, a scientific process or a science. Now coming to challenges, the sampling size in research gives abnormal results and errors. When I went through a video, of Dr. Faruqi, who is doing extensive research in cancer, who has done his PhD, I think, and he was mentioning somewhere that he said that when he was conducting the research in cancer, he was not being given patients for the trials. And where he was being given the trial patients for trials, they were being given chemotherapy and all that. And obviously homeopathic medicines will give abnormal results when it is given to patients who are already on chemotherapy. How can research be conducted? How can randomized control trials be conducted? There can be errors also. So why don't our homeopathic pharmaceutical companies have their own hospitals and own research and development, field where departments where they can conduct independent research? For that, a lot of, power play will come. Government authorities to agree will come and all these things. Why don't we focus on this and get it done? Research in homeopathy should be prioritized in the budget. I don't know how much is being given for research in homeopathy and how much is utilized in the proper way. All government hospitals should be notified to open homeopathic OPDs and encourage patients for clinical trials in oncology and other studies. Like in KEM Mumbai, our homeopath doctor, senior homeopath, Dr. Farooq is sitting there in the OPD and conducting trials and giving medicines, homeopathic medicines to cancer patients. Of course, there are many other senior doctors also who are giving homeopathic medicines for cancer patients. But it should be done in a proper channel in an authoritative manner so that where people come to know that this thing is being done in homeopathy. Homeopathic pharmaceutical companies should have independent R&D departments and hospitals like CIPLA. For example, CIPLA has big hospitals where they conduct independent research. They introduce their patents, newly developed patents on these patients and develop the clinical trials. Strict scrutiny of all homeopathic organizations, which are named as research centers, to understand genuine scientific research and utilization of funds. That has to be done. There are so many research centers, how much research is being conducted, and there is no scrutiny of this, and there is no idea of what is being done. Encouragement to develop and recognize new homeopathic patents. There are few doctors I know who have developed the homeopathic patents. How much recognition is being done, given to them, and how much encouragement is being done to develop more and more new homeopathic patents. There is also a need that whatever the homeopathic provings have been done, once again, a revamp should be done to that. There's a lot of extensive work has to be done in homeopathy to come as an emerging science. Undergraduate courses should be oriented in basic research aptitude in homeopathy and internship. Basically, in undergraduate course and BHMS courses, or where people have no idea about what is research basic, and they go after completion of the graduation, they go out and then they do some research courses if they intend to do research. So that is very important that during their internship itself, they have to be at least oriented for 1 month to research organizations to understand how research is being conducted. Now, solutions, these are the giant leap. We should have this giant leap to go further and remove the fear, and a revolution is very important. Be the change you wish to see in the world. That is what Mahatma Gandhi ji said. So we need to be the change. And unless we change, we will not be able to change the homeopathy. Homeopathy is very good, but we have to change the way some people, the skeptics, look at it. So we need to change to make them look at the way they want to look at in a scientific manner. So that's what I want to say. How the solutions will take place, that is through SWOT analysis, revamping organon in sync with the modern scientific terminologies, dedication and devotion for research, independent global homeopathic research committee versus the Cochrane committee. I think most of you people will agree with this. Is there a requirement for independent global homeopathic research committee or not? Is my question. Please put it in the chat box. A formulation of new homeopathic standards for research if following the current research pattern. If you want to follow the current research pattern as being followed by the conventional medicine, then there is a need for formulation of new homeopathic tools or standards. Identifying the errors in the tools and formulae involved in homeopathic research and statistics. Development of new statistic tools and formulas. Combining materia medica and pharmacology and renaming it as homeopathic pharmacology. That's very important. Do you know that previously the pharmacology was called as materia medica? Later on, this term was coined. Pharmacology term was coined in the early 18th century. Developing a symposium of homeopathic pharmacology with clinical indications, adverse effects, side effects, precautions, potencies, and dosage. How to give the medicine. In this way, if a symposium of homeopathic pharmacology will be developed, it will be very important. Do you know the trick, when you see the Sims pharmacy book or the drug today, you'll find that in place of every in place of any drug or medicine which is given in the allopathy, you will find all these clinical indications, adverse effects, side effects, precautions, potencies, dosage. Now, when we make a symposium of homeopathic medicines in this way, you will find that there will be the clinical indications will be more, adverse effects will be very less, side effects will be almost nil, precautions may be one or two, potencies may vary depending on the individuality, dosage may vary in acute and chronic diseases. Do you agree with me in this? If you agree, you can put in the chat box regarding this. So, it is like a trick that, say, we are giving you a medicine. These people do that. There are so and so clinical indications. For this, we are giving you this medicine. Adverse effects are this, side effects are this, precautions you have to take this, potencies, whatever the drug, drug medicine dosage is that they will mention, they will give accordingly. Now, it is the whatever the clinical indications are more, so side effects and adverse effects won't matter. That is what they clear off the shoulders. That is what happens. Even taking the consents and all, clearing the shoulders. So that is how it works. So why can't we do this? I want your ideas too. So this can be the solutions. So there is a need of teamwork, and teamwork occurs when diverse abilities and insights join together to work towards a common goal. So our common goal is to prove homeopathy as a science. It is indeed a science, but it is, people are blind towards it. So let's open others' eyes. Let's open our own eyes also to make it possible. So let's work as a team and take in people with diverse abilities and insights to make it work. So this is where I stop my webinar, and you're free to ask questions and answer. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Madam, it was a very nice presentation and very eye-opener on. So you are dealing what to do and what are the problems we are facing in future and what was in the past, and everything you narrated in a very beautiful way. So we should learn, everybody should learn that what are the consequences or the obstacles we have to do to overcome all these obstacles. So very nice. Anybody want to ask? Please raise your hands and we will allow you to. Yeah. From anybody? Please raise your hands. If you have anything to ask, please raise your hands. No, nobody asking questions.
I'd be happy if you ask questions because, this is a very important topic, and I strongly feel that there is a need of revamping, especially in research, and it has to be taken seriously. There is a Homeopathic Research Institute, HRI. I was inquiring when I was doing some survey that which is the global institute which conducts research and all those things, protocols, which gives funds also for research. I don't know, but somebody suggested HRI is one. And then when I went and saw there, even that was not satisfying for me. I visited their website and all. Indeed, they are doing a very great work, but not up to that level. When I went at the same time to the Cochrane Committee website, you all have to do that also. I feel that all of you go and search this Cochrane committee website. Okay.
Thank you,
If
madam.
I can
Thank you,
again.
madam. Now, Dr. Sridhar Kurpe, senior scientist and a researcher, want to ask you something.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, please.
Madam, it was a very nice presentation. Excellent. A big salute for you. Thank you very much. But I like to ask one question. Whether are you done any research work yourself? Any particular subject? Will you please explain about that?
Thank you, sir, for asking this question. And indeed, I'm happy to answer this. I have not done any research, but I have helped people, students do research. You know, and when I ask them different questions regarding research, they used to tell me that, ma'am, I have to present the paper. This is a part of my work, so I want research. And they were not able to form the research question. That was the main problem with them. What should be the research question? That was their main problem. So this is a very basic thing, you know. Research should not be done only with the intention to, you know, get a paper published, so because it is a part of their work, student life, or a doctor's life, or a professor's life. It is not that. Research is what? To give some outcome, to prove something seriously. You know, that is what is very important. I'm telling you, I am DHMS. I didn't do MD. When I was offered to do MD, at that time when I was a professor, at that time, external MD came into existence in Maharashtra. And then people asked me do that no, external MD, and many people from different states have done that. You all know that. So I said, what is the use of this external MD? You know, and my principal was there at that time, and he said that you already acquired this professorship. Why you need to do, you know, external MD? You know what? Why you need to do MD? You already a professor. So this is the mentality, you know. So it is not for acquiring knowledge or to do something intentionally, you know, for the progress of the science, but only to acquire degrees or to, you know, get popularity. These intentions should be kept aside, and something should be done for the progress of humanity. And that's why I stopped this scientific thing and representing, making papers and all. I do help people now also, students also, but I am myself, I'm not doing anything.
Thank you, madam.
If we give an opportunity, maybe I can do, but not now.
Dr. Danesh.
Yes, good evening, Dr. Rajeshwari Rapta. It's
Yes,
really
sir.
very good session.
Mm.
We have a lot of research papers presented in this forum.
Yes,
And
sir.
frankly, yes, we will have to look forward to see what will happen to homeopathy if the researchers are not there. Definitely, we need to bring up good persons to do this kind of research to show the world that homeopathy is
Yes.
as much as any other science. It is not at all a pseudoscience as far as what they are written in the.
What, sir, let me interrupt you. I strongly feel that not only homeopaths, but homeopathic doctors as well as microbiologists, then there should be coming the biochemistry people. All the different people should come together and conduct this homeopathic research.
Yes.
Only homeopaths can't do it. So, you know, it's a teamwork, and how you manage that team is very important.
Yes,
And
certainly.
lots of funds are required for that. And
Yes.
unless then we'll not be able to prove homeopathy as science, and then that will be a great threat for us in the future.
Yes, Dr. Prakash Rao has a big team with him, and he is doing a private research in homeopathy also.
Yes.
Yesterday, he has presented a paper, cure and what is cure and what is curative, with his scientific evidences, and he is doing a lot of other. He has done a work on Rustow's and rheumatology. So all kind of research work we are doing. A lot of doctors and the organizations are doing research work, but we need to bring it to the notice of the public. That is what is
Yes.
more important than doing simply research work for getting PhD.
Yes.
This is usually what happens in and around the world, that people are doing research for getting PhD. But I'm totally against that. As you rightly pointed out, you didn't went for this external PG. It is just like external PG. People are doing research for getting PhD. that is not a good way. Anyway, we hope that you will come up with some more presentation in the future so that we can have more time for discussion. Unfortunately, being a Monday, I was not able to attend completely because Monday, as you know, everybody is busy with the clinic and patients are not
Yes.
allowing us to leave the clinic in time. So anyway,
Thank you, Doctor. Now, Dr. Rampresh, sir, please do Thanksgiving to Dr.
Thank you, Dr. De Silva, and congratulations, Dr. Rajeshwari Rapta, Madam. Very nice, excellent session. Beautiful describe SWOT and nanomedicine. Very nice, excellent session. Thank you, behalf of IFPH. Again,
Thank-
presentation, very important presentation. Again, presentation, IFPH. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Dr. Rajeshwari Rapta. We are always inviting you to present more papers in this here our platform. We are very happy to see you. Always welcome to our. Now
Thank
we are
you.
concluding
Thank you
here
once
our this session, English session. Tomorrow there will be at 8 to 9 o'clock. There will be classes. So goodbye.